What's up, Multiverse? Dr. Dave here. Welcome to the Geek Lounge. On today's video, we're going to be checking out my signed Funko Pop collection. Hey guys, a real quick interjection before we get started with today's video, because yesterday we did hit the first small yet significant step of any YouTube channel. Yes, we hit 1,000 subscribers. I know I posted it already in the community post yesterday, but we cannot appreciate you guys enough. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. To thank you guys, we are actually going to be planning a few giveaways. They're just not really ready yet, or at least the ideas I have for the giveaways are not ready yet. In fact, today's video may actually give you a little bit of a clue as to what some of those giveaways may be. That's all I'm going to say on the matter though. And if you're not subscribed and are enjoying the content, why not consider subscribing? After all, it does only cost you a click of a button. But once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Here's to 10K. And now on to today's video, guys. As I said, we're going to be checking out my signed Funko Pop collection. I thought it would be a good time to check it out now because I am probably going to be doubling it by the end of the summer. And that's because I'm heading to 3 different Comic-Cons over the course of the next 3 months, guys. We, of course, have Star Wars Celebrations, which we've plugged thousands of times already on this channel 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks today, in fact, until Star Wars Celebrations. Cannot wait for that. Going to be getting, I think, 4 signatures. I think it's only 3 things because I'm getting like 2 back signed, but I would get more, but the prices for Star Wars Celebrations sadly are very high compared to other cons. That, like I said, 2 weeks time at the beginning of April 7th when it all kicks off. I am then heading to MCM Comic Con at the end of May, where I've got at least 8 things to get signed, possibly even more. I'm kind of umming and ahhing about 2 other guests, and then, you know, who knows, they may still announce a few more guests. We've still pretty much got 2 months to go until that con, and then Anime Con UK in the middle of June, where I will definitely be getting some Tanjiro and Naruto stuff signed, because Zach Aguila and Miley Flanagan, who voices those 2 characters, will be there, and they have said that more announcements will come. So yeah, I could be spending a lot of money over the course of the next 3 months on signatures, etc. And there are like 2 other cons potentially in July that I may be going to, but yeah, I may have to consult my accountant on that one because my bank balance is, yeah, it's going to be seriously in the red if I go for all of this. But generally, I think it's worth it, and I really do enjoy meeting all of the guests that play these characters that we love so much. Don't worry, I'm going to give you guys close-ups of all of the signed Funko Pops, but I thought I'd just give you a little look, because this is kind of my signed Grail shelf. The 2 here that aren't signed, we do have this Katsuki Bakugo, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I think it was 2020, wasn't it? Because we do have him right next to the other Katsuki Bakugo one that is signed, but we'll take a closer look at that in just a second. We do have the Deep here from the boys. Apologies guys, I should really cover up the recording symbol there, and it is actually with the Emerald City Comic Con. I think that was also 2020 exclusive sticker. I think the rest of those are all signed. And then on the other side, we do have a couple of grails here. We do have the Zack Ryder Funko HQ 500 pieces. I think that's the most valuable pop in my collection. The Kaguya Otsutsuki New York Comic Con exclusive sticker, again from 2020. That is kind of like a mini grail. That's not really a grail, it is just the Chase Charlotte Black Clover. The New York Comic Con exclusive, I think 2019. Apologies for the light there, guys. But yeah, Mandalorian there. Snoop Dogg, that 5,000 pieces. We recently showed that off. I do have my Pulp Fiction collection, not quite complete, but I've got like the Bloody Jules and the Bloody Vincent Vega, the 2014 San Diego Comic Con exclusives. I just don't have the regular versions, but we do have Jimmy, Mia Wallace, as well as Butch. I can't remember his name for a second, which is sacrilege because it's one of my favourite movies of all time. We have the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz. I did get that in a mystery box recently, which was pretty cool. And then a couple more WWE ones fitting the 2 superstars who are actually married to each other. AJ Lee, that is quite a valuable pop now, as well as the Hot Topic exclusive Pink Trunks CM Punk. But the rest of these are all signed pops, and I figured we'd just kind of take them off the shelf and then take closer looks at them on the table, so you guys can see the signatures as well as the quotes, and I'll give little stories on meeting the guests as well. And I figured it would make sense to start with the very first Funko Pop I actually got signed, which is Katsuki Bakugo, signed by the English voice actor Clifford Chapin. Now, I wasn't actually going to get into signed Funko Pops. Like, I saw a lot of people's collections, photos, etc., and I was like, they look really cool, but it's just another expense on top of already collecting Funko Pops, Grails, as well as other things, Lego, videos, statues, figures, trading cards, etc. But yeah, the more and more I saw people's collections, I was like, I kind of want myself. And MCM last May, they actually brought a lot of the My Hero Academia cast, and I was like really like into My Hero Academia at the time. Not to say I'm not now, I just haven't really watched the new season yet. I'm just waiting for it to finish. I think literally 2 or 3 weeks before the English dub version should now be finalized. I think the last episode is coming out in Japan this weekend, is it not? I think it's this weekend anyway. And then yeah, the English dubbing version should all be available in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, I went there, and my intention was actually to get a couple of Deku Pops signed by Justin Briner, and unfortunately I was only there on the Friday. I decided very late to actually go to the con, like literally 2 or 3 days before, and they only had Friday tickets available. The Saturday and Sunday tickets were already sold out. And yeah, I was in the line for Justin Briner like an hour waiting, and then they finally came and said, we're really sorry guys, but Justin Briner is actually cancelling today. He's only going to be here for Saturday and Sunday. And I was like, ah man, so typical. And I actually didn't even have a Katsuki Bakugo Pop at that point, so I actually went and bought it from a store. I think it was only like £15. I didn't have this one. And yeah, then joined the line for Clifford Chapin, and yeah, he signed it with the like die speech bubble, which I think is really cool. I had no like preparation in terms of quotes or anything like that. I'm kind of always very underprepared when I go to Comic-Cons in terms of quotes and whatnot. But I'm going to try and get better at it this year. Super cool dude. Also voices like Connie in Attack on Titan, Longris in Black Clover. I mean, he's in tons of things. I think he's like a ADR director as well. Yeah, like I said, super cool guy. And yeah, this was the very first Funko Pop I actually got signed. And I figured rather than going in order of what Pop I got signed when, we'd actually stick with the same franchise. So I've got the second, I think, of maybe 5 My Hero Academia figures here. This one is Eri, signed by the English voice actress Emily Neves. Again, really cool. We had a nice discussion about kind of where she kind of feels My Hero is like better than Naruto, even though it's like the spiritual successor in a lot of people's minds. Hers too. She feels My Hero is ahead of Naruto. I wasn't really sure. I mean, Naruto's like finished, right? Yes, there is Boruto and that's continuing, and there's some kind of negativity, like very polarizing, but like Naruto, like legendary anime, one of my favorites without question. But I do also love My Hero Academia, one of the big animes. Like that was the anime that actually convinced me to go and get a subscription to Funimation. So I also love My Hero Academia. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys prefer? I've heard great things about the new season as well. Like I said, can't wait till it comes out and finishes. We did actually get a quote on this one, like a full-on quote rather than just die. These people aren't going to give up, not until I'm safe. Yeah, Emily Neves there, signed Eri. Pretty cool signature in the white to kind of go with the sort of greyish, whitish robes. Next up, guys, we have our first and only 2-pack signed, though I am actually going to add, I think 3 more it is, by the end of this summer, maybe even more, depending on other guests that gets announced. Although this one, as you can see, isn't complete. It is only signed by 1 voice actor, and I think I am only going to have 1 complete by the end of the summer, because I am meeting Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, and I am getting that Obi-Wan Darth Vader 2-pack signed by both of them, so that is going to be awesome. But yeah, this, continuing with My Hero Academia, Gentle Criminal and La Brava, the Anime Expo exclusive from last year. I actually don't think I mentioned Emily Neves. So Eri, I got signed at Liverpool Comic Con in October of last year. This was from MCM Comic Con in London, but it was October, not the one in May, which is what Katsuki Bakugo, Clifford Chapin, when I got that one signed. So this is signed by La Brava, the voice actress Megan Shipman, who also voices Sasha in Attack on Titan. Sadly, I don't have the Sasha AOT pop. She's one of the few that I am missing. Like, I'm missing the expensive ones. Her, Armin, as well as Annie, however you pronounce it. As I said, Megan Shipman signed with this quote, "I'll die before I'm going to be separated from you, Gentle," with her signature. A bunch of hearts as well. I think really cool. And she was very cool as well. We had a good chat about a bunch of animes. We have a shared love of Fruits Basket. It's just so well written, great characters, great voice acting. It truly is a wonderful show. Would highly recommend it to anyone if you haven't watched it, and it's not even that long. But yeah, I really am hoping that John Gramillion, who was the voice actor for Gentle Criminal, will come over to the UK at one point so I can get this fully signed with a quote and signature as well. Next My Hero Academia pop we have signed, guys, is the Funimation 2020 exclusive Ochako Uraraka, signed by the English voice actress Lucy Christian. Very cool. She was like talking to everyone, you know, handshakes, high fives, hugs for like the younger fans, well, even some of the older fans, to be perfectly honest, a lot of selfies, just, yeah, such a great like personality, really talkative, really kind, genuine. You know, I had a blast talking with her. She's probably more famous for playing Nami in One Piece, of course, or voicing, I should say, Nami in One Piece. Sadly, my Nami One Piece Funko Pop, I ordered it back in July. It's like last year. It still hasn't arrived yet with Double Box Toys. This I got signed at Northern Ireland Comic Con, the first Northern Ireland Comic Con, at least under Monopoly events. Yeah, we have this one. I'll see you in the finals, signed with her signature there. Again, some hearts. I was massively unprepared, like I always am with the quote, and I said, yeah, I kind of did want to quote, but I've already, like, I actually had picked a quote out for her, and then I'd forgot it by the time I got there, so yeah, I wasn't massively prepared. So she said, I said, if you've got like a favourite one, go ahead and pick it, and she said, oh, I think this one's pretty cool, and yeah, that's what she went with. Final My Hero Academia pop we have signed, guys, is Suyu by the English voice actress Monica Rial. Again, really, really cool lady, very talkative. She even did the Suyu voice, did other voices. Like, she's played so many characters. I was trying to think, who is she probably most famous for? I mean, we've got Suyu here. The next character that I like, this was the first of two pops I got signed by her, again at Northern Ireland Comic Con, I should point out. Mary Leona's another one. Like, I love Black Clover, but the pop hadn't like come out at that point, so I'd love for her to come back and get my Mary Leona signed. But yeah, we have Just Call Me Sue, Ribbit there as the quote, and yeah, Monica Rial as well as Froppy. The people that were just in front of me, they literally had maybe 10 or 15 things for her to get signed, which doesn't bother me at all. If you pay the money, that is what it is, right? They were like very apologetic. I was like, no, not at all. And yeah, I got there and I was like, man, those guys were mega prepared, because they had all post-it notes, quotes, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna look really bad. I haven't prepared anything. And she said, don't worry, we'll go with this. And yeah, I think it's really, really cool. But yeah, I kind of need to take a page out of those guys' books for future cons to kind of have my quotes prepared. And this was the other Funko Pop I got signed by Monica Rial at Northern Ireland Comic Con, Mira Jane Strauss from Fairy Tail. I haven't watched a lot of Fairy Tail, to be honest. I binge watched a lot of it up until the, I don't know what the arc's called. It's like the Fairy Tail Civil War arc, where like Luxus decides that he wants to now lead Fairy Tail. And for whatever reason, I stopped watching it for so long, but I really enjoyed up to that point, so I really do need to go back to it. I think it's just like it's a super long anime, although that's not really an excuse, because I'm watching One Piece, which is probably like 4 times the length of Fairy Tail, but I will get back to it at some point. But yeah, I've already said how cool Monica Rial was. This one she signed Welcome to the Fairy Tail Guild. Again, Monica Rial, but this time with Mira Jane in the white, I guess go with her white hair, right? Again, really, really cool. And in fact, that was actually the first of 3 Fairy Tail Funko Pops that I have signed. I did also get to meet Tia Ballard at Northern Ireland Comic Con, along with Lucy Christian and Monica Rial, and she signed my Happy Funko Pop, which she's, of course, probably, that's the thing she's without question most famous for. She signed it with Isa, and then her signature there down at the bottom. I mean, you know what, on camera, it actually looks really nice and vibrant. In, like, person, it's just a little bit dark, the pen. She didn't actually have paint pens with her, unlike the others, and I just kind of wish I had, like, a lighter blue one, which kind of goes with Happy's kind of colour scheme a bit more than this darker blue one. But you know what, on camera, oddly enough, it looks really, really cool. Speaking of cool, though, she did actually draw this design here on the side. If you guys, yeah, if I do it like that, you can kind of make it out. In fact, if I hold my hand up there to kind of block the light, you guys can probably see it a bit more. I guess it's like Happy eating a fish, right? A really nice, cool design. She was, again, super awesome. She's actually very, very beautiful as well in person. Call me a simp all you want, but yeah, it's just a very beautiful young woman, and yeah, just super cool. Did the Happy voice as well. Said bring me a fish next time. Was just very cool meeting her. In fact, meeting everyone. I think literally there's maybe only one person, 1 or 2 people I met who I was like, like nothing super negative, but we'll get to those guys a little bit later on. And the final fairy tale pop I have signed in my collection, guys, is Frosh, signed by the English voice actress Dawn M. Bennett, with the quote, "Frosh thinks so too," in pink, and the signature there, again with a heart, in green. She was also super cool. Like, the voice actresses and actors, they're just always generally really cool people, to be honest. You can tell they love their fans, they love doing cons, they'll talk to you about anything, to be honest. And like Dawn, I was completely honest with her. I was like, I am nowhere near Frosh. And she was like, kind of, don't worry, I've not really even seen so much of Fairy Tail either. Like, it's a lot to commit to. And she was then the one who said, wait till you get to One Piece, that's even worse. And now I kind of am on One Piece. Sticking with the anime, next up, guys, we have Hunter x Hunter. We have the Killua Zoldyck Funko Pop, signed by the English voice actress Christina V. Now, if you called me a simp for Tia Ballard, you can call me whatever you want for Christina V, but this woman is absolutely beautiful, and she is so cool, so down to earth. Met her at MCM Comic Con. When was she there? October, I think it was, last year. I had only watched 5 or 6 episodes of Hunter x Hunter. I'd literally just started it when I was going to meet her. I'd already collected a few of the Hunter x Hunter pops, just because I collect a lot of anime, especially things I haven't seen, and anime hasn't always been too easy to get over here in the UK. Anime Funko I'm talking about, and it's starting to get bigger and bigger and more readily available now, especially with Funko Europe, etc, etc. But you just never know how easy these pops are going to be to get, and so I was collecting a lot of things before I saw them, and then I finally started watching Hunter x Hunter. Finished it very quickly because it's such a good anime. I really cannot wait until more comes. Hopefully next year now. I know the manga is stop start because the creator has those major back issues, stress issues, etc, etc. But yeah, I really hope we get more next year. Having said that, though, I'm not too sure we're going to get too much of Gon or Killua, because I think that story more revolves around Kurapika and Leorio as well, but we'll see. Even from those first 5 or 6 episodes, I thought this anime is like very kiddie, but I'd heard that, and a lot of people said stick with it because it's anything but kiddie. But even from those early episodes, I was like, I really like this Killua kid. He just seems really cool, and he did end up being my favourite character by the end of it, to be honest. I really do like Kurapika as well, but yeah, Killua, it was that like kind of last final thing with him, his interactions with his sister, like the protection over Alaka Nanika, like, yeah, it's just so wholesome, so cool, so nice. So yeah, I can't wait to see more Killua eventually on our screens. And Christina V was the same. She said she cannot wait to play the character again. Of course, she's going off playing Miraculous, was it Ladybug, is like kind of her big thing, I guess, at the moment. Sailor Mars as well, she played from Sailor Moon, but yeah, tons of different characters. Anyway, guys, I've waffled on enough about this. I'm not an assassin anymore. Pardon me, I'm not an assassin anymore, I'm a hunter. I didn't even know that quote at the time, but I'd looked it up and I thought this one sounds really cool. Yeah, written there in that kind of light blue with Killua as well, and then her signature sadly is with a special edition sticker, which spoils it a little bit because it is that crappy old one, but she did add this awesome little hunter, the Hunter x Hunter Association symbol there on the side, which I thought was a really cool addition. Because yeah, she actually was quite pricey for a signature and a quote. They kind of always are at MCM, to be honest. I don't really know why. And 2 more signed anime Funko Pops to go, guys. Again, these 2 guests I met at MCM Comic Con in London in October. First up, we have Saitama from One Punch Man, signed by the English voice actor Max Mittelman. I actually got this quote, which I love this one. "Crap, I forgot to buy combo soup stock," because he's like carrying the grocery bag. I know it's not quite like what it is in the show, because he's kind of in his like casual attire, I guess, when he actually says that. But I just feel like it was a funny moment, and it's just such a funny show. One of, if not the best, at least in my opinion, comedic anime. I mean, I can't really say I'm like an anime expert that's seen everything, right? But I think it probably is the funniest one I've seen. And yeah, Max was a super cool dude. You know, fist bumping everyone, again, hugs with all the fans. If you got a selfie with him, which I think they did they may have charged for, because it's MCM again, they seem to charge for everything. But I think he was like, hey, take like 4, 5, 6 selfies. Like, he was just a super cool, down-to-earth dude. He's played tons of characters as well. I can't even remember the rest off the top of my head. Meruem from Hunter x Hunter. That pop actually hasn't come out, or it's just starting to release now, at least the Chalice Collectibles one. But yeah, like I said, super cool dude. He said he cannot wait to play Saitama again. He's itching to go. Obviously, the news at that point, not long broken, that Season 3 will be coming, but it was too early to know. I still think we don't have anything definitive, but like strong rumours it is finally coming back this year. Yeah, I cannot wait. Like I said, such a funny show. And meeting Zach Aguila, I think I mentioned earlier, at AnimeCon UK in June. I'm still on the hunt for a Genos Funko Pop because I think it would just look so sweet next to this Saitama one. And the final signed anime pop, guys, is Pain from Naruto, signed by the one and only Troy Baker, who is much more famous for video games. He, of course, voiced Joel in The Last of Us, did make a cameo appearance in the penultimate episode of the series as well. Yeah, he's voiced so many video game characters. I didn't actually know that he had really done anime until I got round to this, like Pain's, what's the arc called? Pain Assault arc, isn't it? It's like one of the most famous, loved arcs in all of anime. It's probably my favourite up to this point as well. I thought it was such a cool arc. Great battles, great ending to it as well, without kind of spoiling anything, especially if no one's seen it, even though it came out several years ago now. But yeah, I loved Pain the character as well. This is the Almighty Push one again. We do have that special edition sticker, the old crappy one. I think this was a Chalice one, if I'm not mistaken. But I did have 2 of them, but I wanted to get the Almighty Push one signed to get the quote. Now, the quote doesn't really actually start here at the top because he actually has it on the side here. I'll actually turn it over for you guys. This world shall know pain, Almighty Push. And we've even got a colour scheme going on here. I think he signs this all the time, kind of in this colour scheme. This world shall know pain kind of goes with the Rinnegan, like the purple Rinnegan eyes. Pain and Almighty Push in red to go with the Akatsuki colours. And then the orange signature to go with the like orange ginger hair. It's just really cool. It's probably one of my favourite pieces. I think it is my favourite anime piece. Maybe that and the Killua one, like super cool. And Troy Baker, awesome dude, always very talkative, you know, big video game guy, as am I. And yeah, sadly I didn't couldn't get hold of a Joel pop in time, and he said, yeah, good luck finding that anyway, especially with the show coming out. It's just going to skyrocket, and I think it has even since the show came out. Next up, guys, we have a few animation pops, and yes, Avatar is an animation. It's not really considered an anime, even though it has a lot of anime themes. It's American animation, right? And we got this Chase Zuko signed by Dante Basco. I mean, I've said it for every guest so far, but he was, again, a super cool, super talkative dude. He's actually one of the guests who asks what your name was. Not all of them do that, but straight away he said, what's your name? Dave, really nice to meet you. And that's his voice, right? Zuko is his, natural voice, and it's always weird to hear that to me. Like, oh my God, I'm actually talking to Prince Zuko here. That's his actual voice. It's just so kind of crazy. Very kind of unique voice. Yeah, this is actually kind of a mistake. Well, I say kind of. It's a definite mistake, though, and it's my fault with the quote because I didn't really look it up properly. I was actually talking to a girl in the line. I think she'd flown over from Bulgaria. Should actually say this was the second pop I ever got signed. It was at MCM in May of last year. I got it signed after the Katsuki Bakugo one, and I was speaking to a girl in line from Bulgaria who had flown in just because she wanted to meet the Avatar cast, because it was also him as well as the next one we're going to check out, and she was a huge fan, and she actually told me about this this quote, because I was like, oh, I don't know what quote I want to get, and I was like, I really like this one, I'm going to steal it from you, because I was ahead of her in the line, and she said no problem. But I then actually messed it up because I said can we get the I don't want any calming tea, when it's actually I don't need any calming tea. That is actually the official quote. And I was like, yeah. When I was talking to him at the time, it was like, is it want, is it need? And I was like, I don't really care, I'm just getting this signed. I guess it's quite unique, right, because it's technically a bit of a mistake. But yeah, still really happy to get it signed. The Box Warehouse exclusive glow, I think it's glow in the dark and metallic, right? Korra from The Legend of Korra, which I still haven't watched, to be honest. I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, completely love it. One of the greatest animated, like, animated, whatever you want to say, it's one of the best of all time. But yeah, I still went with I'm the Avatar, you gotta deal with it. And she actually did this really cool, despite the like stickers on there, didn't like cover the face as well. Yeah, I just feel she did a really good job with it. Janet Varney, by the way, the voice actress for Korra, even got the little kind of Korra there signed as well. She was, again, really, really cool. Super, super awesome lady. Her line was like always long, but it's because she took so long talking to everyone, so chatty. Like, I actually almost kind of struggled to get away from her. I was like, yeah, I kind of want to leave, but she's still talking to me. Like, not to sound like disrespectful or anything, but I'll get round to watching The Legend of Korra at some point. Next up, we have some Star Wars animation, guys. The Darth Maul figure from the Clone Wars, where he has his red lightsaber as well as the dark saber, signed by Sam Witwer. Like, synonymous with Darth Maul's voice in any animated project, Lego, Clone Wars, Rebels, etc. I think he's also done the Emperor's voice in a lot of the animated stuff, like tons of different characters, I think. And again, he was a super cool dude. Loves playing the character. I always said to him, like, I really loved the in the Star Wars Lego, when Darth Maul comes in and he's like, it has like the Duel of Fates kind of music, or the like the Darth Maul music, you know, that's probably a bit of a crappy rendition. I'll never get into a cappella or anything like that, but as he comes in, he's like, awesome, awesome, I'm awesome. Maybe that was a bit better, I don't know, let me know if that was decent in the comment section below. But it's like awesome, 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 and handsome. Like, he said he actually ad-libbed that handsome bit, which I thought was so cool. Like, that like, watching that just makes me laugh all day long. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just search Darth Maul Lego awesome handsome and it will come up on YouTube. But yeah, signed by Sam Witwer. Sadly, again, that special edition sticker, I didn't get the chalice. I think it was chalice anyway, but I still feel he signed this quite nicely, like over that sticker and still showing the Darth Maul face. Yeah, very happy with the placement on that one. Met him at Liverpool Comic Con in October last year. And the next pop we have signed, guys, is still Star Wars animated-ish, because it is from the video game. I am, of course, talking about Cal Kestis and BD-1 from Star Wars. Was it Fallen Order? I think that's what the first game was called. Of course, the new one, Jedi Survivor, comes out. I think it's April 28th, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, of course, voice and motion captured by Cameron Monaghan. Again, a super, super cool dude. I feel like I've said that tons of times. Met him at Northern Ireland Comic Con back in September last year. Had a long line. It was kind of a big mix between this character as well as the Joker, who he played in Gotham. I only ever watched Gotham Series 1, so I think he was in that, but then he played a more prominent role in later seasons. I'll go back and watch that eventually, I think, because it seemed like a pretty cool and popular show. But yeah, like I said, cool dude, very chatty. I said to him, like, the only disappointing thing to me about the first game was that it was just too short. I felt like I was so, like, seriously getting into it, and then it just kind of ended. And he was like, well, trust me, you're going to love the second game because it's like 4 times the length. And I was like, yeah, cannot wait to play it. And of course, he did say the ultimate dream is to play the character in live action. But yeah, we have a nice white signature there going across, and he did actually write, "May the Force be with you" there on the side, which I think is very, very cool. And now, guys, we move on to live action. This is actually my first and only Star Wars live action pop signed until 2 weeks' time, when we, of course, head to Star Wars celebrations. But I did meet Giancarlo Esposito, who, of course, played Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian. I met him at, which one was it? Liverpool Comic Con in October last year. And it was actually really, really cool because they actually had, like, of course, he played Gus in Breaking Bad. Again, such a cool guy. Like, he's just such a great actor. Like, just there's this like presence about him, this intimidation. And I was like intimidated going up to him, because what they actually did was they built a Los Pollos Hermanos set, like the chicken shop, and he was then dressed as Gus as well, like in that kind of purple suit jacket as well. And it was like, ooh, it was a bit like intimidating walking up to him. But I'm gonna say it again because he was a super cool dude. Maybe not the most talkative, but like we just pretty much said, hey, we're fans of everything you've done. I always remembered him, like I said to him, I remembered you from all those years ago in like Usual Suspects, which is one of my favorite movies. And it was just, thank you so much for like watching everything I've been in and supporting, etc, etc. And like, it's actually one of my favorite signatures. Like, it's really nice, full on, just cool looking signature from such a cool dude as well. The one sad thing is, and like this isn't my experience, but he is going to be at Star Wars Celebrations in London in 2 weeks' time, and his signature is actually £100 plus fees. And I actually paid £47 plus fees at Liverpool Comic Con. So you're like, he is double the price at Star Wars Celebrations. London tax, Celebrations tax, but it's like, come on guys, that's just ridiculous. I think he is going to be at Scotland Comic Con in like September, October, November, whenever it is later this year. And that next one, guys, is Carl, or I should say Carl. Was again probably a really poor impression from The Walking Dead, the 7-Eleven exclusive bloody version of Carl, signed by the actor Chandler Riggs. I met him, it was also Northern Ireland Comic Con in September of last year. I loved The Walking Dead, but I never really collected too many of the pops, to be honest. The line just was kind of already out of hand, I think, when I was like, maybe I should start collecting these, and I was like, yeah, there's already so many of them. Some of them are like super expensive now as well. I may go to it like one day, because like I said, I was a big fan of the show, big fan of the comic books. You guys can't actually see, but I have all of them like kind of over there, all of the graphic novels, the complete set, some of them signed, and I even got like a sketch of myself as a zombie by oh, goodness gracious me, Charlie Adlard. I kind of forgot the artist's name there for a second. But yeah, this is one of the only few pops I have. And he was there, so I figured, you know what, let's get it signed. Wasn't the most talkative dude, but he was still fairly cool. I'd asked him, was he like a fan of the comic books? And he said he was, like a big fan, but only after he got cast. And then I was thinking, hold on, weren't you like pretty young back then, like reading this like kind of zombie comic book? But I didn't say that to him, but I was thinking it in my head. But yeah, he said he was a big fan, and yeah, again, like I said, pretty cool dude, but maybe not the most talkative, at least not to me. He signed it there. He said, do you want like a quote or something? And I was like, yeah, it would be cool, but I haven't really thought of one. And he said, well, I'll just put this. So yeah, he has his signature there with, oops, I knocked it there. As you guys can see, I win, and then Carl down at the bottom. Yeah, pretty cool, because I do actually like this pop. It is like a classic one, classic pose, bloodied with that 7-Eleven exclusive sticker. Next up, guys, we have one of only 2 Stranger Things Funko Pops I have signed, the Alexi pop, signed by the actor Alec Ukov, at least I think that's how you pronounce his name, with the no cherry, no deal quote. He was a pretty cool dude, fairly chatty, not too much. I kind of said, when he asked me, do you want me to write anything else? I was like, could we get the no cherry, no deal? I'm sure everyone asked you to sign that. And he was like, yeah. He says also everyone like asked me to sign Alexi as well, even though the name is on the pop. And I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like a lot of people still like to have the kind of character name in there. A lot of people, like a lot of the guests, the actors, voice actors, etc., kind of do that anyway. The only one thing, like when I went to Northern Ireland, because we obviously had to fly there, I didn't take any of the pops with me. I literally just took the boxes. I left the pops and the inserts here, and I flattened them down into like this little kind of case that I carry around. And so you never kind of see the pops. If I'm going to cons where I take multiple things with me, that's what I tend to do. Like Celebrations, I'm probably not going to do that, because I have like only a few things I'm getting signed, and they are on different days, so I'll probably just take the full pop with me. But I kind of feel he could have maybe signed that at the bottom, so it didn't quite cover the face so much, but I'm not too bothered. It's still pretty cool. And like I said, he was a pretty cool dude. And I don't know if I said it or not, but I met Alec Utgoff at Northern Ireland Comic Con. And then we have Dustin, guys. Yes, we met Gaten Matarazzo at Liverpool Comic Con in October last year. He was a nice dude, but like he was so rushed. Like obviously his queue was massive. He was like the... is the biggest star the right word? Like... he's just very popular right now, I guess. Anyone Stranger Things is incredibly popular. I know they've got Jamie Campbell-Bower, because Liverpool Comic Con, because they do it twice in a year. So the first one is actually, the first one of 2023 is actually next weekend, April 1st. It actually kicks off. And they've got some pretty good guests there. I know Jamie Campbell-Bower's there. Is David Harbour there? I think he was announced as well, right? I decided not to go just because Celebrations is the weekend after, and I've already spent a small fortune on that, as well as the other cons that I mentioned. But yeah, Gaten Matarazzo was nice for the limited 30 to 45 seconds we got to spend with him. They were just moving the queue along so quickly because I guess they'd sold tons of tickets, right? And there was so many people. But on the plus side, I would say for someone so big, I didn't really have to queue for very long, maybe an hour really. Tops to kind of see him. So there's always those plus and minuses to moving the queue along. But yeah, we got the Dustin thinking cap with the Hellfire Club t-shirt. I decided to get this one signed, so I think it's very cool. With the white, I think it goes pretty fitting. I did actually also shell out, I say shell out, it's only £10 to actually get the authenticity sticker as well. It is Monopoly Events' own authenticity sticker. You actually kind of buy this certificate here, which I actually have folded up and put into, I actually have it in the back of the hard stack, and you then take a couple of pictures, send it to them, and they then kind of pop it online in their own database. So yeah, pretty cool. I would love to meet and get more Stranger Things pop signed. I do have quite a lot in my collection, not a full collection. I would probably venture I'm only missing maybe even only about 10 out of collection. Some of them the more expensive ones. But yeah, it's just sadly, Liverpool Comic Con was just too close to Star Wars Celebrations for me. But who knows, if they do come back for a second one in October and get an awesome guest list like they did for the October one last year, I would definitely be there. In fact, the last 3 of my signed Funko Pops, guys, are all from guests who attended Liverpool Comic Con in October. Starting with this one, yes, I did meet Catherine Winnick, who of course played Lagatha in Vikings. I actually couldn't get this one out the protector though, guys. It is wedged in there. I do, like I said, with the Gaten Matarazzo, the Dustin one from Stranger Things, have that certificate in there, so I think it's kind of wedged in with the Monopoly Authentic sticker there. Signed, as you can see, Lagatha, with her signature. The window on mine has come unstuck from behind here. You guys probably can't tell it in the protector, but I will have to kind of glue that down eventually, because her signature, unfortunately, as you guys can see, it's quite relaxed, but it does that is kind of supposed to be a K. It does actually come out a bit more. It's just where the windows become unstuck that it's kind of relaxed in now behind the glam shot, if that makes sense. But yeah, Catherine Winnick was still pretty cool though. She was not really talkative at all. She did have a protective shield, if that's the right word to use, in front of her. I still get it, guests coming over. She wasn't wearing a mask, didn't ask for anyone to wear masks, but still had that kind of protective shield. You know, guests coming from overseas, I still get it. There's still slight worries with COVID. I think America's so much bigger than we are as well, so it was always going to be harder to maybe combat in the States than it was over here. But yeah, she was still fairly cool. But the only thing I kind of said was do you miss Vikings? She said, yeah, I really do, but I couldn't really get too much out of her, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, just didn't seem the most talkative. At least, again, to me, maybe I just have one of those faces. Which leads me to this next pop, guys. Opie Winston, signed by Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy. He was, without question, the least talkative, least interactive guest I have ever met, which was disappointing for me because I'm a huge Sons of Anarchy fan, and I was a huge Opie fan as well. One of the saddest deaths, I know that is a bit of a spoiler, but that did happen. Like, Sons of Anarchy is it's celebrating its 15th anniversary this year of when it started, and it actually finished 10 years ago, I think. Oh, it was no, maybe it was. Actually, no, I think it finished in 2015. Why am I thinking it finished in 2013? It ran for 7 seasons, right? Not 5. But anyway, like, so again, apologies if you've never seen it, and that is a bit of a spoiler, but very sad when the character was killed off. But yeah, Ryan Hurst was just not talkative at all, man. I was like, do you miss Sons of Anarchy? He was like, nope. I was like, oh, okay. Do you miss Walking Dead? Nope. And I was like, okay, maybe they are like crap questions to ask. I guess maybe I could have come up with something else. And I was like, well, what are you starring in next? And he like pointed to this thing on the table and just gave me a smile, handed me back the pop, and that was it. I was like, okay, well, thanks a lot. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Maybe, like, I've heard stories, some people have said negative things about him in the past. I think one of the Liverpool Comic Cons in 2021, he just walked out for some reason. I don't entirely know what happened. But I've heard a few other people say they've had negative experiences with him. I just don't know if he, like, does he get bored? Does he get annoyed? Especially if people keep asking the same questions. I'm not too sure. But, like, I can't say it was, like, negative or nasty or anything to me. Just wasn't talkative at all. Like I said, maybe, again, I have one of those faces, or maybe I ask crappy questions that people have asked before, or that he doesn't really care for. And finally, guys, on to what I think is probably my most cherished one. Like I said, I'm a huge Sons of Anarchy fan. I love the show. I've never done, like, a top 10 favourite TV shows, but it would, without question, be in my top 5, maybe even my top 3. And we did get to meet Charlie Hunnam, who, of course, played the lead character of Jax Teller, and Charlie Hunnam was so cool, guys. He's like the term Hollywood star, it depends how you define it, but he's still like very famous, right? He's been in a lot of movies. I kind of feel he's not quite broken into that like big, like major movie star kind of thing, which we thought he would do after Sons of Anarchy, but he's still had a lot of like really good roles, been in a lot of like really good movies, and like he was just such a chill, talkative, super dude. You know, he was in fact like asking us a lot of questions. Where are you guys from? Like what do you guys do? Blah blah blah. Like to the point where the like security guard shepherded us away. He was like, "All right, guys, that's enough." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool. Like Charlie, thanks a lot. Fist bumps. Like take care, guys. Blah blah blah. Thanks for coming out." He was just such a genuinely cool dude. Spoke to him about like I'd heard these rumors that you were somehow bringing Sons of Anarchy back or something along the lines, and he was like, "I've got this kind of creative way to get the boys back together, but that's kind of all I can really say at this point, you know, keep your eyes peeled." And I was like, oh yeah, I cannot wait. But yeah, he signed the pop here, Charlie Hunnam with his signature, Jax down there, even though it maybe looks more like Jav. But yeah, signed Jax, and he did actually put that Anarchy symbol there on the side, which I think is a really, really cool addition. But yeah. Like I said, super cool dude. And well, there you go, guys. That is my signed Funko Pop collection, and that is going to do it for today's video. So first and foremost, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me here on the Geek Lounge. It is very much appreciated, and I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If so, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Drop some comments below. Out of all my signed Funko Pops, which one was your favourite, and what is your favourite signed Funko Pop in your own collection? And as always, we got plenty more content on the way for you guys. I said it earlier and I said it thousands of times already. We are heading to Star Wars Celebrations 2 weeks from today. I cannot wait. We're going to be there all weekend covering the event every single day, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But that's 2 weeks away. Before we get to that, we have more Naruto Kaio unboxings. I've got a really cool box coming in. It's an XL Tier 2. I can't remember if it's Wave 2 or Wave 3, where you actually get 36 packs instead of the usual 18. I just don't know if it's going to arrive in time for tomorrow's video. If it doesn't, I'll just open another Tier 2 Wave 6 box as I go hunting for more CR cards. Sunday, we have our usual Funko Pop weekly pickups video. Again, I'm waiting on quite a few parcels, so yeah, if that comes in time, it'll be the usual 15 to 20 minute video. If not, it'll probably be a bit of a shorter one, but I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below, do you guys prefer shorter or longer videos? Of course, our Star Wars Hot Toys Mandalorian Marathon will be continuing on Wednesday when we check out the Incinerator Stormtrooper, but tons more content, as I said, for you guys, so make sure you stay tuned for all of it and more. What is the easiest way to stay tuned, you ask? It's very, very simple. Subscribe. subscribe. Hit click, smash that subscribe button and enable those notifications so you don't miss out on any of that future content. Guys, thanks again for watching today's video, and we will see you on the next one. Peace out, nerds.